Jack the Ripper murders were undoubtedly horrible and grotesque and awful, but I think everybody forgets that he didn't really become famous because of the murders. Girl, he became famous because of really good branding, and also everybody was just learning how to read. Literacy rates in the Victorian period were shockingly low. We're talking about maybe 60% literacy for men and even lower for women, maybe around 50%. And you just know in the poorer communities, that shit was real bad. Until in the early to mid 1800s, the government decides it's way better to actually teach everybody to read and write properly. So the rate of literacy goes way up for everyone, which leads to an explosion in new print media. All of these newly literate working class people are desperate for stuff to consume, and the more salacious and bizarre and macabre and gossipy, the better. So really cheap newspapers start to pop the fuck off. And guess who else was also starting to pop the fuck off at this time? Between August and November of 1888 in London, in a suburb called Whitechapel, there's this brutal, horrific series of murders. 5 women are killed, and no one can figure out who's doing it. During the first couple of months of this killing spree, the media are all referring to this new uncatchable killer as a bunch of different stuff. He's called the Whitechapel Murderer, the Red Fiend, the Leather Apron. Super horny name. But because information about this new killer was so vague at the time, it was kind of being rolled into all of the other murder and crime that was happening in the East End anyway. That is until the 27th of September in 1888, when this letter arrives at the Central News Agency in London. This is the Dear Boss letter. Basically, this letter arrived at the Central News Agency, and it seemed to be from this horrible murderer in Whitechapel. It detailed why he was killing the women that he was killing, perhaps what he would do to his next victim. The letter itself was spookily written in bright red ink, and it was signed, "Yours truly, Jack the Ripper." And the completely evocative name, Jack the Ripper, was the key to everything. The Victorians became completely obsessed with this almost real-life penny dreadful murder mystery where this horrible villain would commit some new atrocity every week that they could read about at the breakfast table. Your boy went totally viral and was cemented as the world's first serial killer. Now, I should let you all know that current historians do think that the Dear Boss letter and a lot of the other subsequent letters that were sent to the newspapers were fake and just attempts by the newspaper to drum up interest in the story. People would read the letters and compare them with other letters and compare them with the facts of the case, and all of it created this huge money machine where people were really hungry for the next episode of the Jack the Ripper show. So yeah, essentially Jack the Ripper was the world's best marketing campaign. You.